A couple weeks ago, I premiered my first machinima. It was a gay old time. I had a lot of fun working with it, and the rest of the guys who helped me thought it was a fun time too. My little self-congratulatory high was abruptly cut off when I got a comment, kinda, sorta, not really, comparing me to Fave. Having a suggestion that I'd resort to his type of humor disgusted me. Sickening! I'd rather die than be the next Fave. My hatery and disliking for Fave preceded his most infamous fumbles and controversies. I disliked him before it was the cool thing to do. I think he's one of the worst Roblox YouTubers of all time. Not just as a person, but also content-wise. Buckle in for some very unapologetic negativity. Now this really is a wide, all-encompassing time for Fave's career. He was still finding his way with all these types of videos. He was still finding a niche. Tutorials, machinimas, weird parodies where the guy just has sex. He had it all. And to be honest, all of it fucking sucked. I understand there's a lot of adjusting your standards when looking back on old Roblox stuff, but this just sucks. There's a lot of people who come from his era, and before then as well, who blow Fave out of the water. I won't really get too angry at this because his age range spanned from like 9 to about 13 during this time, and there's no shot you're making peak YouTube this early. Even then, there's still some hatery to be had. Look at someone like Epicrika. They're younger than me. Epicrika has been a squeaker for most of their YouTube career. Jit was already making goddamn forum simulators around Fave's age. As much as I detest Epicrika's personality and persona back then, he was undeniably a big player and a well-respected figure in the Roblox YouTube scene. The golden and silver era YouTube was pretty thin competition-wise, but Fave still is dead last in my eyes. He just didn't move me as much as these other content creators did, even when we go back into the Bronze era. That's when the scene started fledgling, and Fave was still doing stupid, corny explosion dubstep intros and shitty camcorder machinimas. This was a brief but interesting part in Fave's career. He wasn't a baby finding his way in vintage Roblox. He wasn't making the worst dogshit machinimas known to man. He was a guy who was producing videos, engaging with the greater Roblox community. The best/worst update videos, the noob stories, the Q&As. It was pretty cool to see someone establish a relationship with the audience and engage them with videos like the ones he was making at the time. It was kind of short-lived though. It quickly got phased out by his bread and butter, Roblox machinimas. It hasn't even aged gracefully too. On rewatched, it looks kinda fucking terrible. Though to be fair, that applies to a lot of Bronze era content. During this period of his career, I thought he was a solid Roblox YouTuber, even if it hasn't aged the best. A magnum opus is a large and important work, often known as the most important work of an artist. I think Fave's magnum opus was the machinimas, not because they're great or even good, but because they highlight everything wrong with him as a content creator. They're very emblematic. They're the most important thing as to highlighting why he sucks. Everything was laid out during this time. He started doing machinimas consistently during 2014 onwards. During that time, it was hell on Roblox. Fortunately for me, I had enough Ruben Sim and Firefox to suffice through the dev era and modern classic years. The first whispers of the Fave-style machinima that I could stomach enough to watch was Roblox Madness 12. It highlighted several themes and aspects that defined this dumbass. Fave portraying himself as a Gary Stu. Use of slurs that aged horribly. Random equals funny and loud equals funny bullshit humor. Sleazy, lowbrow sex jokes. Wait, is this Roblox blackface? What the fuck? He was offensive and edgy. If you're a liberal... Please avert your gaze for this compilation.
Faggot, it's retard, you retard. Faggot.
Nigga.
You almost fucked a tranny.
Nah, nigga, you fucked this plan, nigga. Hey, yo, let's get retarded in this bitch.
Yeah.
Nah, nigga. Drop it, nigga.
Now, I ain't no stick in the mud. I like raunchier, edgier comedy, especially of the YouTube variety. But even with that in mind, Fave was just awful. The way these raunchier jokes were executed left a lot to be desired. It was crap, it was stupid, Fave is stupid. These little Fave tropes just got more bountiful as it went on, and more stupid shit got into there as well. Weird treatment of women. The stupid gag where there's just random dudes dancing in the background, shitty sound designs, and random explosions. These were strangely formulaic and the story sucked. When it comes to Roblox Machinimas, the story isn't as important because people tend to lean towards a comedic route, and the story is just a conduit and setup for the jokes. That being said, the plot was nonsensical and didn't help at all. Not that it helped much, since a lot of Fave's humor was just unwarranted edge, or just boisterous, random, and offensive comedy that wasn't funny. When I was watching his machinimas for this video, only one moment made me laugh.
Watch the language in my classroom!
Fuck you, bitch.
Fave featured a lot of other creators within his videos. I wish they could carry him, but a lot of the time they stooped down to his level. Gossack or Propane Treat Fitty or Tamalotu, Brofist, he has a lot of names. Yeah, he was a decent enough YouTuber, this Gossack character. I think his stuff was also edgy and raunchy, but he wasn't as boisterous and the narrative felt more coherent in his machinimas. I'm basing this all off of memory, by the way, since he expunged his catalog. Anyways, I thought he was one of the better Roblox YouTubers. When I look at his collaborations with Fave, though, all he does is just spout the N-word playing a weird Piccolo-looking motherfucker. Gossack's self-insert character is just a useless cameo too, and that's what a lot of guest characters were actually in his videos. Useless cameos. They weren't mentioned in the description, and they don't feature in the title or thumbnail, so you can't even make the excuse of a marketing ploy for sharing audiences or whatever. He was just shooting the shit. Now when you invite someone as a guest to shoot the shit, I don't mind. In fact, I think it paints you as a cooler individual seeing how you interact with your buddies. It feels more organic. Since it's under something so scripted and stupid though, that interaction is not there. There's no organic chemistry. The soul is not there. Even when you tune into something with less scripts and less rehearsal like a gaming video, he's still awkward and lacks chemistry. With people he considers his friends.
What?
Bruh, I'll rape you.
If you're in the house.
Anyways, machinimas are not a Fave-only venture. When we compare and contrast Fave's content, he is without a doubt the shittiest one. A Firefox glazer through and through, so I may be a bit biased here, but this is definitely in case on how to do and how not to do machinimas. Firefox kind of paved the way in a sense. His first tenure started in late 2012, while Fave didn't produce machinimas consistently until 2014. Not only that, Fire's humor has aged better, and if it didn't, he wiped it off the face of the earth. Plus, he grew up with his audience. His newest run of machinimas feel more laid back, mature, and expressive. Fave's machinima run was static, juvenile, and annoying. Even though Firefox didn't swear and discuss mature subject matter in his older stuff, it didn't feel as childish or as stupid as Fave's stuff. Firefox takes the cake. No, I was an adamant Epic Rika hater, but I must admit there's some bright spots in his machinima backlog. Again, Fave's whole tenure as a machinima guy felt static as fuck and was more so the same jokes and aspects over and over and over. Epic Rika actually evolved. I saw his most recent one and I thought it was funny. I thought it was good. Plus, the narrative of Epic Rika's op getting his comeuppance because of his own negligence was a funny way to wrap things up for his machinima career. Also, the animation aspect was really well done. This was done when he was like 14. The later machinimas were one of Epic Rika's best on a technical standpoint, at least in my opinion. Epic Rika takes the win here. Kind of a newer player to the machinima game, not much of an oldie, but Sword Stealer is great. All the machinima guys I liked expunged their content, so I kind of have slim pickings here. But Sword Stealer is a wonderful option, exemplary even. He's indicative of a machinima renaissance. The way he intertwines voice chat interviews with dramatic lore is intriguing. Plus, the Arthur Morgan persona he portrays himself as makes for an entertaining protagonist for a lot of the things he puts himself through. It's much better than the shallow character Fave portrays himself as. I kind of put this as its own section because 1, I'm full of myself, and 2, I know the most about my own game because I am me! This might be a hot take, but this one lone machinima from me trumps every machinima Fave has ever made. Crazy, I know, bit conceited, I know. It's not that fair though, because his machinima tenure was during his adolescence. Well, I am a grown-ass man, but I don't know. He has like 100 times more subscribers than me, so I'm still punching up. I think the story in my video is dumb but cohesive. Flu scores me a date. Some guy comes in trying to hustle me and leaves me with the bill. He gets stopped by the police. Flu and I rendezvous, and then Flu ends up just hustling me anyways. Fave videos are just jokes first, story second. Things just happen in a contrived way. Again, it wouldn't really be a problem, but every joke Fave spits sucks ass and isn't funny. Our self-insert personas are very opposite too. I think the healer guy in the machinima differs wildly from the healer man making this video. Healer in the video is broke, has no bitches, and no future. Wait. Shit. But for real though, my machinima guy is a lot more of a sociable everyman, while the guy behind the scenes is kooky and withdrawn. Fave's persona and the guy behind the scenes were both narcissistic, unfunny, confrontational, megalomaniacal, gangster wannabes. Fave was pretty much just playing himself in his machinimas. Fave's self-insert is a Gary Stew. Look at him. He wins every fight instantly. He has a big wiener. He's the guy making fun of people and not the one being made fun of. And he faces no accountability, consequence, or comeuppance. The healer's self-insert is much more grounded and gets clowned on from time to time. He dishes out a Fave-esque random-esque joke, which is actually just a setup for the joke to be turned on to him at his own expense. He still has to live with the consequences of paying the food bill at the end of the video. Hell, the whole premise is how he's a single loner and needs to get out of his little house, his little shack. The way these characters operate very wildly. Healer's playing a loser because it's funny. Fave is obviously just exercising a power fantasy and getting off by portraying himself as the best in his videos. To end it off, the production is just cleaner on my end. I tend to fuck up a lot of the edits, but I think it's overall a pretty decently put together video. Fave's editing is whatever and nothing too interesting. I really enjoyed the sound design of my video. For example, those police shots were loud and weighty and imposing. Fave's sound design sucks. He likes to spam footstep sounds that don't match with like half the materials he walks on. And the sounds he incorporates are just gunshots or explosions that are obnoxious. To wrap it up, this whole diatribe on Fave's machinima suckiness, the camera work and blocking on Fave's video sucks. I remember distinctly in the Favette video, the blocking of the characters making no sense, they're positioned weird, and like, it was hard to establish the scene. This happened during the climax, and it caused for a very confusing and disengaging scene. I really liked the blocking and camera work on my video. Not only because I made it, but I think it's executed pretty nicely. How you could see Flu walking the whole way organically through my circle shot. I don't know the technical term. The one-take sequence from the phone call to Fat Eater's ditching. I think it's safe to say my lone machinima beats out Fave. After the fire from Fave's machinima run more or less burnt out, he swapped to commentary. It was slop, pure slop. His machinimas were dumb juvenile humor that sucked and weren't funny. Now it's just random, inoffensive, dime a dozen content, and this was his most successful endeavor. It got him to 500k subs as of recording. It's kind of sad seeing a good creator go from good, or at least entertaining videos, to slop filler. For Fave, though, it was weird because he was an awful creator who kinda mellowed out to this mediocre content. This is speaking mostly from the present time. I wasn't familiar with Fave's game when he switched up the content. In fact, I don't think I was ever truly aware of his presence once his community shtick was in full swing. I always thought he fizzled out and stopped uploading or something. Looking back and watching these videos, they're fine, just okay. Mediocre, middle of the road, like a 5 or 6 out of 10. For positive, he discusses some really niche and quirky aspects regarding Roblox, especially when you consider the older side of things. Some examples include rare accounts or random oopsies. With all that being said, he's just kind of generic. The video's content just feels so cookie cutter, even if the thing being discussed is interesting. There's the stretching for mid-rolls, the shameless self-plugs, the generic thumbnails, the lack of personality. It's the opposite problem of his machinima era, where instead of the persona being super overbearing and annoying, He's kind of colorless and uninteresting. The facts he spits are intriguing, but the spitter himself is quite lame.
Today we're going to be talking about why I joined the math team.
In the middle of his commentary run, he got exposed! Exposing for liking little kids! There's a lot of content breaking down what he did, so I won't go over it. Besides, I don't think I have enough journalistic proficiency to properly investigate the matter. Anyways, point is, he allegedly did stuff with minors, solicited them for bad things, and has a quote-unquote special folder containing more of these types of photos. It was gross, disgusting, fucked up. What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you? Fave was always a weird pervert, and I'm glad he doesn't have a platform anymore. Now you'd think after being irrelevant for more than 2 years, he'd just be nothing but a bad memory. Nope, not at all. Not for me at least. There's this guy on my server. The guy who compared me to him. He's obsessed with this dude, and I guess he's a little obsessed with me too. He won't stop talking about Fave. Every time the server tries yapping about some random bullshit, this guy always finds a way to circle it back to either A, pedophiles, or B, Fave in particular. Am I being trolled? This is a troll job. Evidently so, according to him. Anyways, I mentioned this because this occurred on the Healer Discord. Yes, that's right. We have a Discord. I was kind of hush-hush about it, but I'm releasing it for realsies. If you're seeing this, then I'm most likely in the voice chat. And we're about to have a game night. Late night game night. The fuck? Come say hi to me, and we can play Roblox together. It's my way of saying thanks for the support. Sorry to any future viewers. That's all I wanted to say. Fave sucks. I'm better. Join the Discord. Bye-bye.